Hi everyone, I'm Lani Huang. I'm a middle school math teacher. I thought I'd sit down and make a video on financial literacy because as a math teacher and as someone who has always been big on saving money, I think it's part of my responsibility to share the knowledge that I've gained through my life and with trial and error. And so I'm sitting here today making a video on how you can better save money. According to the US News report, about 3/4 or 75% of consumers, people who buy goods and services, die in debt. So in my opinion, life shouldn't be about struggling to barely get by. It should be about learning how to live comfortably within your means and plan according to your circumstances. Don't forget to like and subscribe to keep updated on future videos. This video is going to be geared specifically towards young people. It's all about a mindset. I developed this mindset when I was younger. I remember my cousins always talking about saving, and even before I was working, before I was making money, I was already saving. And you might be wondering, how was I already saving money if I wasn't actively making money? I would save the money that my mom would give me for food. In my head, I already knew that I didn't want to spend all of it, that the money that I was given was not money that I could use completely. In trying to inspire others to have a similar type mindset, I think that it's important to really think about your life and future long-term goals to then decide your financial goals from there. And I think that when you make financial goals that are specific, that are smart, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely, when you can set a time frame and when you can set smaller benchmarks, it'll be easier to get to where you want to be. And in no time, you'll be like, wow, I started not having the savings and now I have $1,000 or X amount of dollars. Saving should not be something that you only do when you can, but that you always find a way to do. There's usually two types of saving behavior. One of them is when you're saving for a specific purpose, like a specific item, specific purchase, you have a specific goal in mind. And the other is just saving just to save for a future rainy day, emergency situation, unforeseen circumstances such as COVID-19. Despite there being two types of savings behavior, I think that both of them can be made more successful when you set benchmarks. So for example, even if your end goal is to be a millionaire, if today you can sit down and say, I want to save $5,000 or $1,000 this year, and every month you set a certain amount, if you know that certain months you'll get paid more, you'll be able to work more, then you can raise the amount that you're saving during that month, especially if there are other months where you're making less. Or you can save the same amount every month or every paycheck or every week, however you want to do it. Even if it's just $5, that adds up, and that's something to be celebrated. You might not be moving as fast as you'd like to be, but you're still moving. When I save, I think of that money that I've put into my savings as something that's no longer there, that I no longer have access to. And I think that was a really great way for me to not think about my savings as something that I can turn to when I had a want. It's only when it was in need that I went into my savings, such as getting my wisdom teeth removed and having to pay that fee up front the day of my surgery. I think that when you turn off that mindset that you can just break open a piggy bank and use that money just to go out with your friends or to go on a vacation, unless that was your original goal, I think that you should always view money that you save as money you no longer actively have access to. So the amount you save over time, as I've mentioned, with maybe seasonal jobs or just jobs where certain months you make more than other months, the amount you save can fluctuate over time just as long as you're always saving. So start early, start now, and keep going. Don't find reasons or don't make excuses to not save. Like, oh, this month I'm making less, so I can't save. It's like, no, adjust all of your other habits or all of your other wants, because saving needs to be a need. I feel like a lot of people get into that mindset of like, oh, I'll start saving, when I have money or when I start making money. Waiting until you're stable or you make more money might just put off actually getting started and learning sooner. Because we can all think of situations or people who acquire money too quickly. They either get famous and then rich, or they win the lottery. Those type of cases, and they never learn healthy relationship with money and they blow it all. They end up spending it frivolously and they just spend money because they now have access to it like they've never had access taxes before. Remember to just do it now. Before you even start making money, you should learn how to manage it, because you want to control your money. You don't want your money to control you and your life and the decisions that you make. I think money can control people both if they have a lot of it and if they don't have enough of it. Some people just spend their life chasing money or chasing, the dream of getting rich and not enjoying life along the way. And then other people, if they're not making a lot of money and they have to stretch the money that they do have, are always going to stress about it because they need to figure out how to make ends meet, how to pay bills, how to take care of whoever they're responsible for. We usually learn about money through our parents and caregivers. There's that double-edged sword of we learn their habits, but we can also learn from them. And that's, I think, a positive thing, given that if we can observe a situation and realize that we don't want to live that way, or we don't want to have the same problems, and we actively decide to change our life, I think that is, something that should definitely be applauded. My tip on saving is keeping it organized. And by that, I mean having separate accounts for different expenses or different priorities that you have. For example, I have 3 priorities: what's coming in, what's going out, and what's staying. So what's coming in is my direct deposit account, rent or mortgage account, and then the last one is my savings account. When you have separate accounts, it makes it easier to manage because it's better organized. So it's not like all the money is in one account and you yourself have to think about how much is going where. If you have a purchase that you're saving for, you don't necessarily need to put that money in a separate savings account, because sometimes there might be penalties or caps on how you can withdraw, how often you can withdraw, or when you can withdraw. I know that having separate accounts makes it easier for me to visualize my money and separate their uses, and that's what also helps me keep a separation from accessing that money. In the next video, I plan to talk about creating a budget and overall how to plan for spending your money. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next one. Bye!